over a little bit. How's that? There you go. Yes, my lords and ladies, welcome to our Royal Assembly here in the courtyard of Nottingham Castle. Bravo!
Now to commence the assembly, I present to you the Royal Tax Collector, Sir Maddock.
Huzzah! We love
I smell fish.
Villagers and visitors to Nottingham, for those of you who have come expecting to make your weekly tax payments, I have good news. By the order of the Crown, in addition to the amnesty afforded to the Sherwood outlaws this day, I have been commanded to tell you that all tax gathering is forthwith to be ceased for the duration of the springtime festival. We'll pick them up again when the festival is over with just a small surtax to pay for these festivities. None of that. I don't want any trouble from you rabble today. One more word and I shall send Edgar and Edith.
Nothing, Maddock. Now stand down before I knock you down. People of Nottingham, peasant scum. You know what I'm going to say, and you know very well what I will do to any troublemakers once all royal visitor leaves, so I'm warning you. Don't give me any reason to single you out. Is that understood? No. Very well. It's my honor and duty to present to you your regent and rightful ruler of England, your host and benefactor, Prince George!
Long live Prince George! Long live Prince George!
I always thought he was taller.
Greetings, my good and loyal subjects. My mother, the great Queen Eleanor of Aquitaine, the Dowager Queen of England, has travelled all the way from her castle up in London with a very special message for all of you. But before we begin, I would like to add my own dire sentiments to those of the sheriff, should any of you prove to be unruly during this afternoon's assembly. Do I have your assurance on that point? There will be no trouble.
Oh, we'll behave while your mother is here, your majesty.
Excellent, then.
After all, we Englishmen love and respect her, right?
Aye.
Oh, but I wish I could say the same for you. Aye, your highness.
Arrest that woman, collar her, suppress her, and take her to the...
Seems to me the problem.
My lords and ladies, give cheer to greet the Queen of England, Eleanor of Aquitaine.
Long live the Queen. Long live the Queen.
Mother, I was just trying to introduce you, but they're all being so mean.
Oh, poor Johnny. Stand over there and let Mummy handle this lot.
Yes, Mother, yes.
All right. Which one of you just now was being mean to my son? Was it you?
No.
Are you sure? Does he fib? All right. All right. You sure? All right, speak up now. Which one of you? I'll not say a word further until someone confesses.
It was Will.
Oh.
She done it. Meg?
So it was you, was it, my girl?
Yes, but he...
Oh, no, tut. I don't want to hear a word about what he did. Right now, we're talking about you. Come up here, my girl. Oh, never mind all that. No, you two, never mind all that.
No, but it was...
I don't want to hear another word. I want an answer. Were you being rude to my son?
Yes, your majesty.
Did you speak out of turn and say something to hurt his feelings? I see. What is your name, my girl?
Wilhelmina Scarlet, your majesty.
Wilhelmina. And do you live here in town, Wilhelmina?
No, I live in Sherwood Forest with Robin Hood's band.
Oh, and is it Robin Hood then who teaches you to speak out of turn and make rude comments?
No, why Robin's very genteel and polite, and sometimes excessively so.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that at least. And do you think he would be proud of what you did?
No, ma'am.
Then you had better do something to improve yourself in his eyes, isn't that so?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't you have something to say to my son?
Sorry, Prince.
Sorry, Your Highness, you mean.
All right. Sorry, Your Highness.
What? There now. All is forgiven. All is forgiven, Johnny. Remember, Wilhelmina, it's not very easy to rule a whole country. And my son John is at a disadvantage, not being suited to power as his brother Richard. Mother is speaking, Johnny. Now, Wilhelmina, is the rest of your band here today?
Oh, yes.
Then I bid you, have them come up here so they may meet me.
All right, come on up, guys.
It is truly an honor to meet this country's greatest statesman, Your Majesty. Your many kindnesses to the poor of London is an inspiration to us all.
So you're Robin Hood, hmm? You're the rascal who's been giving my son John so much trouble since his brother went off to the crusade. No need for denials, Robin. My spies see all, far out and beyond London. And for every report my son John or one of his toadies sends complaining of your thieving ways, I have heard too. Telling of your bravery, your generosity, and your keen sense of justice for friend and enemy alike. Arise one and all, and arise Robin Hood, for today you are to be hailed as national heroes.
3 cheers for Robin Hood! Hip hip!
Huzzah!
Hip hip!
Huzzah!
Hip hip!
Huzzah!
Robin, I recently met your Wilhelmina.
Oh, Will, Your Majesty. I've just called Will. Isn't that right, Tom?
That's Friar Tuck to you, and an honor to be in your presence again, Your Majesty.
Good afternoon, Friar Tuck. Now the friar I know of old, but who is this leather-lunged giant who is so eager to sing your praises?
I am John Little, your Majesty, called Little John by these folk here. Come from Lincoln to help fight Robin Hood. I mean the sheriff and Prince John. I mean not Prince John.
All the way from Lincoln, Little John.
Aye.
You are to be commended to your commitment to Robin's cause, one that is near and dear to my heart.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You're most kind, Your Majesty.
Way
Thank
to
you.
go to pieces in front of the quality, Little John.
You ought to know, little Wilhelmina.
Where's the face I have most longed to see?
Here I am, my queen.
Oh, Marion, my beautiful maid Marion.
A maid no longer, my queen. A year ago today I became the wife of Robin Hood.
He did, without permission from your queen or guardian.
He had no choice. He was rescuing me from this very castle where your son was attempting to force me to marry the sheriff.
The sheriff? John, how could you? He's so far beneath her.
It did not happen, my queen. Robin came to the castle at risk of his own life and saved me. He took me to live with his loyal band in Sherwood. Together we've helped people and worked and righted injustices, and I've never been so happy. Please, don't be angry with him. Or us.
Oh, I could never be angry with you, my dear. And I'm sure I will grow to love this husband of yours as you do. Although I must confess, seeing a lady of your stature married to an outlaw is a bit of a shock.
Amen to that, Your Majesty.
And how's our gallant robber chief? Nothing to say at all this laughter at his expense?
Nothing, Your Majesty. I know when I'm beat.
Since when?
I see their wits are as sharp as their swords. And as much as I would love to continue this pleasant discourse, I am here with a purpose. One that I must attend to. Guards, call forth the official keeper of the Queen's collection purse.
Call forth the Queen's purse?
I am here with the totals from the previous 6 village collections.
Hard, Sheriff, look, hard, you treacherous, deceitful little...
John! If you would please refrain from abusing my servants in such a childish manner.
Mother, this is hard. She's my personal attendant.
Was yours, you mean? The man was utterly disconsolate after you dismissed him. He came to London seeking my appearances. The man but wanted a little redirection. I hired him on the spot, and he's proven to be an absolute treasure.
Oh, Your Majesty, that means that I'm a treasure in your treasury.
How dare you joke with my mother, you dog's body! If I had you back with me, you would soon learn... You look at me when I'm yelling at you!
I am sorry, Your Highness, but your mother gave me strict instruction to ignore you.
That is correct. And as your insults will not hit their mark, I will ask you to refrain from making them as Mummy is speaking to her people.
She gets people.
What is that?
Nothing, Mother. Nothing.
People of England, news has no doubt reached the far corners of our world that my son, the greatest of the Plantagenets, and your king, Richard the Lion-Hearted, has been captured en route from the Holy Land. He is being held in the dungeons of the wicked Duke Leopold of Austria.
Oh no.
My men and I are at your disposal, Your Majesty. At your word, we will travel to
Nay,
Austria.
Robin, that cannot be. England needs you as it needs all its men. Too many have already been lost to us to the armies of Saladin, and I will demand no further blood sacrifice. Fortunately, Leopold, who loves riches more than prisoners, has provided a more peaceful solution. Tell them, Hodge.
Yes, Your Majesty. The Duke demands a ransom of 150,000 German marks to free the king.
150,000? That's outrageous.
Indeed, good friar. The amount represents 3 times the annual amount England receives through taxation. But despite the seeming impossibility of collecting such a sum, I am determined to free Richard before the year is out. And that is why I have come before you today, my good people, not to command, but to plead with you, the people, the common people of this country, to dig deeper, to make sacrifices of material comforts, and to find it within the collective capacity of your hearts, to strike beneath the surface riches of our country and bring your king home to us. After all, England's riches are not to be found within its treasure houses, but within the breath and soul of its English people. And now to see what has already been collected.
It's full of gold. Our king's ransom in riches.
Oh, not really. Encouraging, yes, but by no means close to our goal. Hodge, how many such chests do we need to collect?
More than 20, Your Majesty. More than 65,000 pounds of gold and silver will be needed.
Your Majesty, I think I can speak for all citizens of Nottingham when I say that your sincerity, as much as King Richard's plight, has completely won our hearts. Therefore, let my band be the first to contribute to your most worthy cause. There. Nottingham's first contribution, in gold.
I'm sure that hurt to give up, Robin. But besides, isn't that gold stolen from the nobles of this house in the first place?
Perhaps it is, but at least it's found its way back here, ready to be put to good use, rather than the upkeep of you and your nest of vipers.
Well, if I'm a viper, outlaw, it's best beware my fangs.
Get him, Sheriff!
Really?
I said stop! Sheriff, release once!
Whoa, all right.
At once! Robin, the same for you! Put down that bow!
Yes, Your Majesty.
Now, give me your arrow as a sign of peace.
What?
Yes, Your Majesty.
A black arrow.
It is only for special occasions, Your Majesty. It is my court of extreme measure, and its judgments are always final.
Final? Well,
Sheriff! Johnny, I understand why you shout his name so often. He is maddening. And you, Robin, antagonizing him when I barely finished pleading for peace. I shall keep this arrow as a reminder to myself of last judgments and rash decisions. Pick up your heart in the Queen's presence. People of Nottingham, remember that your king needs you. I will see you again at the Tournament of the Golden Arrow, where Hodge and I will accept your contributions to our noble cause. For now, no, farewell. And now, if these two parties can refrain from killing each other, I invite you into the castle for some refreshment I have brought from London. For as I understand it, this castle is currently without a cook. Sir Matthew will help serve our guests in the Great Hall.
To serve the outlaws? But Your Majesty, I've never served a table before.
Don't worry, Lord Maddock. You'll have plenty of practice. Friar Tuck here is as hungry as a wild boar.
Do not fear, Your Highness. Give me some time and I will come up with a plan and have Robin and this entire band of outlaws hanging from a Sherwood tree!
Sheriff! Forget Robin Hood. Forget everything. I want that money!